Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the True Stories collection, as in it actually happened at an event that I was actually judging. Amy exiles a Crashing Footfalls with Ragavan. Can Amy play this card? Alright, so in order to answer this question, we're going to first take a close look at the process for casting a spell. Basically, the way this works is anytime you want to cast a spell, you have to go through a specific set of steps in order, and anytime there's a problem, you have to either work through it or you have to back up to immediately before you started casting the spell, and all the stuff you did along the way is undone. So, let's start out with casting this spell. The first step is always going to be to move it from whatever zone it's in onto the stack. Now, ordinarily this would be an issue, because the zone that it's in is the exile zone, and you're not normally allowed to cast spells from the exile zone. Basically, you're only allowed to cast them from your hands based on the stuff that the game rules gives you. However, fortunately for us, Ragavan has our back in this case. Ragavan specifically says in its effect that you are able to cast this spell, so it doesn't matter that it's in exile, which is an unusual zone. Ragavan is letting us cast this one, so we get through the first step with no problems. The next thing we're going to have to do is determine the cost to cast this spell, and here's where we're going to run into another problem. You see, ordinarily the way you would do this is you would start out with the spell's mana cost. Except, of course, Crashing Footfalls does not have a mana cost. Mechanics like Suspend and Cascade get around this problem by letting you play the spell without paying its mana cost. And so, of course, if you're not paying the mana cost, the fact that it doesn't have a mana cost isn't going to be an issue. It would also work if you had something like, for example, a Fist of Suns. Fist of Suns lets you pay Wooburg instead of the mana cost. So again, it doesn't matter that you don't have a mana cost because you have this other cost that you can pay instead. Ragavan, unfortunately, does not have anything like this. It lets you play the card, but it doesn't have any extra stuff that it says about how you're playing it. This means that it's basically the same exact thing as if you were playing it from your hand. And of course, you can't play Crashing Footfalls from your hand for exactly the same reason. When you get to the part of this process where you're trying to pay the cost, you'll get a 404 cost not found error, and you won't be able to complete the process of casting the spell. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.